Today we're going to be talking about maintaining width in our attack. A standard rugby pitch is 70 meters side to side, 60 meters from the 5-meter line to the far 5-meter line, and 40 meters from the 15 to the 15. Fairly standard defensive setup we'll use in these examples. Our back three playing a pendulum, 2 tackle and tackle assists on the floor, leaving us 10 defenders in the defensive line on either side of the ruck. 3 things that we want to focus on today. The first being correcting a very narrow shape in our attack. What I mean by that, red is playing left to right, right to the strong side. We have a ruck here. Our 2 furthest out weak side players, this wing and the man just inside of him, have a tendency to pinch in towards the ruck. What that means is any weak side play from the base of this ruck, we're only asking this defense to cover 15 to 15. In this setup, they've got 8 players there. 40 over 8 means that each one of these men here only has to guard 5 meters apiece. That's 2 to 3 steps side to side, fairly easy to both tackle and provide access to tackle, assist, and attack at the breakdown. And it makes for tough running for any play coming weak side off of this 10, whether it's to a forward pod or out to a back line. First correction here is to maintain weak side width in attack. What I mean by that is pulling our weak side wing and the player inside of him all the way out to the edge of the field. This simple adjustment means that these same 8 players on any weak side action have to guard from the 15 to the far sideline. That changes the math at the top to 55 over 8. Every individual player here now has almost 7 meters of space to guard. That means we're going from 2 to 3 steps to 3 to 5 steps. It means that there's a lot more half gaps in total. That's 40% more space for our offense to run through. A second common problem that we've got is, again, moving left to right. What we'll see is as we move towards the edge of the field, we identify that the back three swing the pendulum forward, the strong side wing tries to shut off access on this edge, and we will then just play back weak side, meaning the most the defense will ever have to defend is this 55-meter channel. What we would like to start doing is more consistently, not regarding this as a blocked try-scoring opportunity, but instead identify that we've got loose forwards in behind, we've got plenty of support to run a hard line down the 5-meter channel safely, such that we can cut back infield, have a ruck in the 5-meter channel, forcing the defense to guard potentially 65 to 70 meters all the way across the field. What this can look like is bouncing off the edge. What we mean by that here is we can take that ruck down the 5-meter channel. We can force the wing and a tackle assist in here. The defense will have to play at least post defenders on either side of the ruck. If we can have fast, clean ball here from 9 to 10, and then 10 out to a B, where that B is coming back infield here, we have the potential to do 2 things. One is have our next ruck behind the gain line such that these 6 players are all trapped behind and forced to fold deep around, and they'll be slow to help any play out to the weak side. Second, if we have this infield angle here, this forces this man to cover this tip line, leaving only 6 defenders to guard the rest of the field. If we end up having this tackle about where the fullback is, that means there are potentially only 6 players to guard from the 15 to the far sideline. That puts the math outrageously in favor of the offense, where each one of these 6 defenders now has 9 meters to cover extremely challenging open field tackles. That's 85% more space than we started with when we're only playing from the 15 to the 15. All right, a quick recap here. 3 corrections to build more width into our attack. The first one here is rather than having our weak side, most players, Infield here, we want to pull out to the edge such that we have a man out in the 5-meter channel with supporting players just inside. Second, we want to always take this opportunity not to regard this as a block trying scoring opportunity, but as an opportunity to attack down the 5-meter channel with support, take a ruck as wide as possible such that the attack out to the weak side has maximum width. What that's most likely going to look like is this bounce off the edge concept in the bottom right here, where we end up with a ruck in the 5-meter channel. We end up with a B or an A back in field with the goal of trapping as many defenders on the strong side as possible, putting immense pressure on the remaining defenders out wide, trying to get the ball cleanly through the hands back to these players who are going to have tons and tons of space down the far edge. That's it for today.